icon in comedy, a fighter for freedoms, an accomplished entertainer, and a pervert. You've got problems, he's got problems. You've got questions, he's got answers, some of which are good. Call now 866-WOW-1-WOW. That's 866-969-1969. This is the Jim Norton Show.
Hello. Thank you for tuning into the Jim Norton Show. Those of you that did and are, hopefully I'll be able to give you some unqualified advice and it will help perhaps a little bit. Stephen in Brooklyn. What's up, Stephen?
Hey, Jim. I'm just getting this news. I wanted to get off Twitter, so I saw you tweeted this out, and I called you about Eric Garner case not resulting in an indictment. You know, it's a city like New York. You're not going to have crazy rioting or destruction of property like a small city like Ferguson, and it's a different kind of situation. But when you have people upset about a situation like this, which it doesn't seem like we have a result. I mean, a means of resolving. How would you recommend we act?
Let me ask you: do you feel like with the Eric Garner case, do you feel like, because I've heard it was a chokehold, and then I also heard that he died of a heart attack as he was going down?
Well, I have family in law enforcement, so from what I understand from their perspective is he was an asthmatic. He had some problems, other problems, health problems. He's like a 340-pound guy. And when they went for the hold, which actually is not, I mean, if you read the fine print of the police policy, it's not exactly illegal the way they did it. So, you know, if you hear like Patrick Lynch talking about it, when he says what they did wasn't illegal, he really is like being honest, even though you could disagree with it.
Yeah, but Patrick Lynch, let's be honest. I know he's got to protect his guys. Patrick Lynch, I've never heard come out and take a stance against one of his own guys. I mean, unless it's one of those cases where it's an absolute indefense. You know, it seems like he always, no matter what a guy does, says the cops were right. Now, I'm not saying they weren't right in this situation.
Yeah.
To me, that guy, look, he was a gigantic dude. Maybe they were being dicks and being petty, but the store owners had asked those guys to do something about him selling cigarettes, and they go over there, and you know what? They tried to cuff him, whatever, and he did kind of push them away and was physically confrontational. Like, what do people expect the cops to do?
Well,
you know, I'm not saying that they're never wrong, but what do people expect them to do when a gigantic guy physically says, you're not going to arrest me? What are they supposed to do? Go, all right, buddy, you just stand here.
Yeah, cops will tell you resisting arrest is any moving a muscle, anything that makes it difficult for them to put cuffs on you. Yeah. And it's already going to be tough to put cuffs on a big guy like that. And I understand that once they had started the process of arresting him, they had to arrest him. Now, as far as when a guy is on the floor saying, I can't breathe, and they went for a second time to try to really I don't understand why they need to put their hand around his neck to subdue him. I mean, they have four guys on top of him. It's still, we've all seen the tape. It still bothers me to say, like, and, you know, I don't listen to Patrick Lynch. It's like listening to a mob lawyer. But when you listen to what people are saying, he's taking his life into his hands by resisting arrest. At the same time, the police and the EMTs, the four EMTs who didn't work on him until he got into the ambulance, which he died in, there's got to be some kind of accountability. I know otherwise.
Yeah, hold on. I know what you mean. I know what you're saying. There has to be some kind of accountability. And unfortunately, there's no video of Ferguson. But it's real easy to second guess the cops. It's real easy to go, hey, man, they should have done this. But when I watch that tape of Eric Garner and I see how people are reacting to it, I wonder, like, if he had just said, go ahead, put the cuffs on me, they would have just walked him into the car.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're not taking your life in your hands, but when you're a gigantic guy, what do you expect? Not just you. I mean, like, what do people expect the police to do when there are cops that get their jaws broken and there are cops that get shot And you do drive, like every time they pull a car over, they could potentially get murdered. Like in that kind of situation, when you resist, what do people want the cops to do?
I mean, the cops, they their first job, they'll tell you, is to come home.
Like, they didn't bludgeon him, and the guy choked him and they cuffed him, but they said he died of a heart attack.
Yeah, he died of a heart attack because he already had health problems. And the thing is, he'd been arrested for the same thing several times, so they were familiar with the guy.
Yeah, so I think it's a shame. I got to run, buddy, because I got other people on for advice. I think it's a shame that these things happen. I really mean that. I'm not just giving it because it's the right answer. Yeah. But, I don't know. I wish they could find better cases of police violence, because I'm sick of hearing hands up when I'm hearing a lot of witnesses said that his hands were not up. And thing, it was like maybe the cops could have done something different, but he resisted. What does he want them to do? I don't really have a great answer for you. I'm sorry, buddy, all right?
I understand.
Take care, man.
I'm doing.
Okay. Let's see. Want to quit your job and become a musician, but is struggling with security? What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Jimbo?
How are you?
Man, I'm struggling, dude. I'm trying to make it through the workday, and I am fucking miserable at my job, man. I fucking hate it. It's a cubicle farm. I'm doing some shit I don't really want to do.
What?
It's like a cubicle farm, you just like doing mortgage and title stuff. And I just graduated from school. It was the first job that I got offered after I graduated. And I took it, and it's been 3 months, dude, and I fucking hate it, man. I hate going to work every day. I dread waking up in the morning. It just fucking sucks, and I can't decide if I should leave the security behind to this job and just, go for it, or just, kind of tough it out for a little bit longer.
Do you have kids, no?
No kids.
Well, I mean, you have to pay your bills. Is there a way you can do both for a little while? I mean, how old are you? I'm sorry.
I'm 25. I've been doing it for a little bit. I mean, I've been, working in all my free time trying to dedicate towards, making music and just working at that, and then, working at creative pursuits. But, I mean, I dedicate all my free time to that, but frankly, it's just not enough, dude. Like, I have to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. You need some time to dedicate to your career. How much do you have enough money for how long can you be sustained?
Man, this kind of sounds bad. My mom passed away last year, so she left me with some money. But, I mean, I have a decent amount, enough to last me for, a few months for sure at the least.
Well, that doesn't sound bad. I mean, as long as you're not pissing it away, why don't you, if you hate your job this much and you really think you have a shot at music, I mean, why don't you try pursuing it for a little while? The worst that can happen is you're running out of money and you got to go back to work. Just don't be an asshole about it. Like, if you start running out of money, make sure, or find a job that gives you a little bit more leeway, because a lot of guys got to work a day job while they make music work.
Yeah.
So you don't want to go hungry, but if you got enough money to quit and you think you're good enough and you believe in yourself, then maybe you should be doing that.
I mean, anything is better than sitting at this job at this point. It's just fucking drivel every day. You come in, it's the same shit. It just sucks,
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pursue those day jobs when you got dreams of doing something else. But I always suggest to people to do it smartly, and there's got to be a way to do both for a little while. I know forever you don't want to, but you're 25, you're a young guy, music can be a real motherfucker, and it's a harder thing. Like, as a stand-up, I can just go out and get gigs opening for other comics. It's a little harder with music. And when you read those stories of, like, whether it's Joe Perry or any of these guys, they had jobs for quite a while, a lot of these guys, more than a couple of years. So I wouldn't quit right away. Maybe you could find a job that lets you get up a little bit later, or that pays half of what this pays. So, you can fucking go out and try to make it in music, but also you can have a paycheck coming in that you don't have to get up so early for.
Yeah, right. That kind of sounds like a pretty good point, good starting point.
All right, doll.
All right, thanks, Jim.
All right. Hey, Brian in Fargo, what's up, buddy?
Jim, glad to talk to you.
Thank you.
Traveled 4,000 miles to see various shows for you. Anyway,
thank you.
I've got a kind of a Twitter thing going on I need your opinion about.
Okay.
I'm 55 years old, married guy, comfortably married. I'm not going to say happy.
Sure.
And out of the blue, this young girl, sent me a nice boob shot. And we kind of struck up a little DM conversation.
Hold on. Out of the blue. So hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Out of the blue, she sent you a tit shot. Now, I don't care about her name. Give me an S you have.
Trying to remember. Probably around 500.
Okay, so she's legit. She's not a guy. Have you spoken to her on the phone?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And she just likes you, and what does she want?
She doesn't really want anything. We just have a really good, solid, seems like a friendship going on, and started writing erotic stories to her, through DMs, and we're just really kind of hitting it off. I don't know. Would this be considered cheating, or is it just
it's
kind
inappropriate
of fun flirtation?
No, I think it's flirtatious. It's more than flirtatious. Flirtatious is, hey, I like that picture. You look good. I want to come in your ear goes a little bit beyond flirtation. But don't forget, everything on the Twitter DM is very savable and very, very printable to the world. All she's got to do is copy and paste your DM and send it out. I'm not saying she'll do that, but, if you're married, man, that's a bad scene. You got to be careful if you're married, because you don't want, to, especially if your wife, if you're swingers, that's one thing. But if you're not swingers and all of a sudden you're talking to this girl, just understand that your wife can find out. And that's not the safest way to do it, the way you're doing it. So I would be really careful about that. Do you plan on meeting her?
No, not really. And we've already, pretty much discussed that, there wouldn't be any sex going on anyway if I happen to get out where she lives. She lives in another country, so. Oh,
okay. All right, well, can't you just why don't you set up a fake email account and just email with her? It's safer that way.
Yeah, I've been working on that and talking to her about it, but yeah, I don't know. It just kind of, and she's young. She's only like 24 or 5, and it's just interesting. She saw some tweet I made, and she said, something about never getting nudes, and so all of a sudden she sent one. It's like, okay.
Well, I would watch out for that, because you never know what someone's motives are. And it could just be for fun, or it could be for another reason. But I would open up a dummy email account. Plus, you'll have longer erotica than 140 characters. What do you got to do? Keep resending? I'm going to suck your, and then part 2. And then you can come in my, just start an email account, get her email account, and then just fucking go back and forth that way. You can send pictures and everything. It's a little safer and more discreet than Twitter DM.
Yeah.
I don't think it's cheating, though, especially if she lives in another country, just like jerking off.
Yeah, well, it works for me, too.
All right, well, good luck, buddy.
Yeah, front row center, Kansas City, a long time ago, if you remember that.
Thank you very much. I don't remember you, but I remember the gig. Yes, Johnny Dare helped me promote it. All right, well, good luck, my friend.
Yep, bye.
Be good, Angel. Pete in Louisiana, your wife of 7 years used to be a lot freakier. Uh-oh.
Yeah, hey, Jen, thanks for...
when did how many years ago did she stop being freaky? Was it right after a kid?
It maybe a little bit before, but yeah, I mean, a lot of people have said that might have been the cause of it, of what happened.
You think she's a mom now and she feels weird, being tinkled on or whatever it is?
It was, just, kind of swinging her with other dudes. I get off on that. So,
her with other guys?
Yeah, like I brought it up to her when we were dating, and we did it, and then we had a good time, and we did it some more, and it's fun, and I like it. And she, it's been like 5-6 years. I tried talking to her about it, and when it's not, sex time, and she just doesn't want to talk about it when I try and bring it up to her. During, I might start talking dirty to her, and she'll sometimes participate in kind of the dirty talk about it, of like the reminiscing. But
did she enjoy it, or did she just do it for you?
She enjoyed it.
But now she's not doing it anymore.
And I know I don't understand. And I don't understand why. I don't know how to bring it up, without then saying, this is something I still want to do.
Let me ask you: would you be in the room with her while she fucked, or would she do it without you?
I would be in the room the 2 times. There was a couple times that it happened previously, but she also did tell me about other times when we were kind of dating but not committed. And, she said, I met up with this guy in the hotel during my lunch break or something like that.
She might have done that more for you, dude. She may have fucked those guys for you, more for you. With swinging sometimes, you never know what turns somebody on or what turns the switch and makes them not want to do it. But I think sometimes women like to feel attractive and sexy, but they maybe not necessarily don't want to go out and fuck 20 different people. Because for women, sometimes they're as liberated or quote unquote open as we are with fucking different partners. And other times they like it more in theory than in practice. They like the naughtiness of it. They like feeling sexy. They like feeling dirty. But they don't always like going out and fucking a whole bunch of different people. Because for a woman, that usually means a little bit more than it does for a guy. Like, you can get blown by a different woman every night in a car and not care. But a woman is not going to lay back and get her pussy eaten by a different guy every night. It's just going to be too weird for her. So I would sit down and have a non-confrontational discussion with her. Like, hey, why did you not enjoy that, or do you not feel comfortable? Just ask her. Maybe she doesn't feel comfortable, or did you get weird? Did you try to lick her pussy after she got fucked and she was like, that's a little too much?
No, not. I mean, I never tried to do that. Of course, I would just be wanting to tasting latex. I mean, because we were safe about things. I don't know. It seems to me to be, I've tried several times to bring it up, and then I don't know. It seems to me to be weird to me. I mean, I guess I'm not a woman, so I can't really put myself in the situation of,
How many years ago since she did it?
It was a little over 5, maybe a little over 6.
Wow, that's a while ago, dude. That's a while ago. And she'll still talk about it. Does she seem to get into it, or does she seem like when you say let's do it again, what does she say?
Well, I'll just get like a maybe or something. I'll get when it's not in the heat of the moment. I'll get a maybe. If it's in the heat of the moment, sometimes she'll talk about it, and sometimes she'll get into the talking about it, and she'll even say things that I guess she knows will, I don't know if she seems to be enjoying it, or again if she's just doing it because I seem to want that kind of talk about that sort of thing. But
did you bring up that you wanted a woman in bed with you after that?
No, I mean we did do that too. I mean we did some other things like that as well. But honestly, that turns me on the most. The her with the other guys. So and then she wasn't opposed to it. She seemed to enjoy that as well when we did the other sorts of things. But it's I don't know. It's a very it's just frustrating for me because I seem to have wanted some, more of that, and my interest, increased in it, and her decreased. It just seems that going the opposite direction, and it's not something that makes me want to leave her. I love her.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
I want to be with her.
You know what, dude?
To be with her. I want to do these things with her, and especially because it seemed to me like she was enjoying it and she was doing it for her. I mean, the one time she told me about stuff, I didn't know about it until a little after. So she didn't go light me up with this dude because she knew I would know. I told her, ironically, I wound up telling her about it after the night after she did that. So, and then she wound up telling me the story, a couple weeks later, and it was just really hot. So I don't.
Yeah, that's very hot, but maybe she outgrew it. Sometimes people do a couple things and they just realize it's not for them, or maybe it's just maybe she just feels wrong about it, or maybe she felt weird about it after. Who the fuck knows? I mean, you may just have to continue with the memories of what you guys did, and maybe she can continue to fantasize about doing it. Or maybe you guys, again, I told that other guy, start an email account and maybe put a couple of ads up together without your faces in it and get a bunch of email responses, and then you can look at the pictures together while you fuck her. Like, that might be enough too. That's pretty hot. I've done that with a couple of girlfriends where we put up the email account, and we didn't meet people. We were just fucking looking at these pictures, and she was telling me, like, I'm a pervert. Like, I used to like when she would tell me how much she would rather, fuck that guy than me. Like, I kind of like a little humiliation in it. So she would look at these pictures or block our number, talk to them on the phone while I fucked her. Like, there's a way to incorporate them where you're not actually bringing another person into the house. So maybe you guys could compromise and do something like that, all right?
I'll give it a try. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate your advice.
All right. Good luck, you pervert. Thanks a lot. All right. Bye, buddy. Let's see. Sal, Long Island. Your uncle and friend died yesterday and was someone's biggest supporter and a musician. Not sure how to tell the family, and you want to do full time without support. Okay. What's up, Sal?
What's going on, Jimmy?
Hi, buddy.
Hello?
So your uncle was your biggest supporter?
Yeah, he was my biggest fan. He hooked me up with my first real gig at 17.
Are you a professional musician?
I auditioned for American Idol back in July, and he's the one who motivated me to do it. And by motivated, I mean he told me, not trying out for American Idol because your style of music, I sing like Sinatra and that type of stuff, wouldn't fit. You're not trying out for it because you're a pussy. So I had to do it. But he was my biggest supporter. He was my biggest fan. He always told me that if I really took it seriously, I worked 3 nights a week doing it, and people seem to enjoy it. He goes, if you really, buckled yourself down, you can make something of it. And, I feel like I want to do that now more than ever to kind of, bring his legacy about. But at the same time, I'm at St. John's for business. I'm doing well, and I don't know how to tell my family, look, I want to do this full time, not just because I feel like it's something I would love to do. I feel like it's something I have fun doing, but it's something that I can bring, Uncle Joe's legacy with me.
Let me ask you a couple questions. Do you have a wife and kids, or you mean your mom and dad?
I'm 19. I have a mom and
I'm
dad.
sorry, 19. I don't. Maybe you can. I don't know if you need to make that announcement to your family yet. See, here's why. First of all, you shouldn't be concerned with what they're going to say. Even though we all care about our families, right. However you tell them is up to you. But if you really want to do it, how they feel can't affect your decision. If they're with you, great. If they're not with you, great. And honoring your uncle's legacy, if he just died yesterday, give yourself some grief time before you make a life decision like that. That's what I would suggest.
I was going to, show up at the funeral home tomorrow. Hey, guess what, guys? I dropped out of school.
Yeah, you don't do that. But why? What can you fit? How many years of school do you have left? Like 3 more years?
I have 2. 2 after this one.
Well, do you want to finish school?
You know what, Jim? I like school, but I'm a business major, and I found myself earlier this year in the radio station at my school, and I ended up starting a radio show, and I know you're gonna cringe. Please don't hate me. It's called The Men's Room, and it's kind of like an Opie radio, except we have to follow all the PC bullshit.
Yeah, I understand.
But I really enjoy that more than going to class. And I feel like it's going to affect my grades and everything. I don't know if I'm just being, like I was with American Idol, just being afraid of the outcome of trying that and school, or trying entertaining and school, if I'm afraid of how that's going to turn out, or maybe that's just my passion and that's what I really want to go for.
Look, being afraid is okay, and it's normal. My suggestion would be to continue just to do both. First of all, if you're in business school and you want to get into the music business, understanding business more never will hurt you in your life. I guarantee you there's 1,000 musicians that can look back and say at the beginning, instead of working in a bar, if I was in business school and doing music, I wouldn't have gotten fucked out of $10 million in royalties. So being in business school is not going to hurt you if you pursue professional music. So why don't you do both? Practice the music, go out a little bit. You're 19 years old, dude. You got plenty of time. And anything you learn now, if you go into full-time musician, will only prevent you or help prevent you from getting fucked financially. So business school is a great place to be. At least it's not like you're in some, you're not a philosophy major or doing something that has no connection. This is actually one that you need if you want to hold on to your money anyway. So fucking do both, dude. And don't worry about your family right now. Tell them when it's time, but just do both.
And Jim, I just want to before I let you go, I just want to tell you and especially for your listeners how great of a show this is. If my uncle was still here today, I'd be calling him for this advice. Oh. And just to have you as a guy to go to, as someone people trust, is an absolutely fantastic thing. So thank you.
All right, thank you, brother. I appreciate the call. It's really nice of you, and I'm sure the advice I gave you is wrong. And you'll be wishing for your uncle when you do what I suggest, and your life is in turmoil.
You fucking made it, so I got to listen to you.
Thanks, man. I'm working
on it
already. Thank you, buddy. Take care. Let's see here. Anthony in Florida. Hello, Tony. An open relationship, but you're on Tinder telling girls you're single. He's not sure if he's doing the right thing. Hello, Anthony.
Hey, Jim. What's going on?
Hi, buddy. So you're in an open relationship, and you're in a public place telling women you're single. Is it because the open relationship allows you the freedom, so you still need to feel like you're doing something wrong?
I think that might be a little bit part of it. But I think mainly it's because I tried to be honest about it at first. I tried to put that I was in an open relationship, and girls just don't seem to be into that. So even though my girlfriend doesn't care, my girlfriend knows that I have single on my profiles too. So my girlfriend knows that I'm lying to these girls and doesn't care. But
all right. So what's the problem?
I don't know. I don't know. Am I fucking over these girls? Am I gonna fuck with their heads too much? I don't know.
Here's what you can do. Put single on it because it's going to make your life easier. Talk to them a little bit and then tell them, once you have a rapport with a girl, then let her know, like, look, I'm in an open relationship. She may go, hey, you lied, fuck you. Don't wait too long to tell her, but at least let her know that, because a lot of times women might see, oh, you're in an open relationship and think it's bullshit and just not want a headache from your girlfriend or not want a wife coming after them. So if you say single, because technically you're not married, and then you tell her, like, hey, it's open, it's cool, they might be more willing to go along with it. So that's fine, but keep the lie to a minimum. That's what I would suggest. And then just let them know before you ever meet them.
All right, yeah, no, that's definitely a good idea because I don't want them to know where I live or anything.
Yeah, and you also don't want someone to get freaked out by open relationship when it really is not going to be a problem either. So, sometimes a little white lie doesn't hurt, but just tell them, okay?
All right. Thanks, Jim.
All right. Joe in Iowa, jail officer, and your coworker got stabbed with a fucking needle. What's up, Joe?
Hey, what's going on, Jim?
Hey, buddy. This is a real story?
No, hold on. What'd you say?
This is a real story?
Yeah, this is a real story.
So you're a jail officer, and you saw an officer get stabbed with a needle. Now, what happened? You saw the results?
No. So what happened was it was last night, and this is changing the tone of your show here, but
that's all right.
So last night she was patting someone down, and she got stabbed with the needle.
She what?
She got stabbed with a needle. I think she was shooting a meth with it. So, anyways, she went to the hospital, and I've had this done before too. I've been soaked in blood and stuff like that. So, the test results, since we're in like a rural area, it gets shipped off. So it takes like 5 days to get the results back. It's awful. So, last night I was just looking at the girl's file, and I found her medical records, and I saw she has hepatitis C and MRSA, and so I was just like, fuck, and I didn't tell anybody, and I'm kind of thinking, I'm like, fuck, should I tell her that I saw this or just not have to worry her anymore? And if she gets it, she gets it. I mean... Wait,
hold on. So you know that the girl who stabbed her has this stuff.
Yeah, I saw it in her file, like deep in her file.
Well, let me ask you, if you tell your coworker, could you get in trouble for seeing that and telling her?
No.
Then why wouldn't you tell her?
Actually, well, because I don't want her to worry for the next 5 days because it's like an insulin needle, so I'm kind of thinking, maybe there wasn't anything on it. I'm really hoping that nothing was on it. But
her worrying, let me ask you, her worrying, she's worried already. Now, if you tell her this, is there anything she can do in the next week that would be medically helpful that a delay might make harder?
Fuck, I haven't even thought of that, but I mean, Hep C, I don't think there is, and MRSA, I'm pretty sure there's nothing to do about it.
Well, I would tell her. I mean, if you're not going to get in trouble and you're not going to lose your job, why not tell her? I mean, look, even though it may be a scary week, the results aren't going to change because whether she knows or not. So
well, that's my thinking. Instead of just having to bring it up to her, she's eventually going to find out.
Yeah, but I mean, what if she's fucking her husband? Or what if she's, again, what if she's going to go? Who knows? I mean, or what if there's medication she might be able to start taking or something? I don't know. I don't think the information hurts her at all to know it.
No,
I would tell her, especially if you won't get in trouble, because it's not gonna hurt her to know it. It'll just freak her out a little bit. But hey, it's the truth. You're not lying.
Yeah. I just saw it and I was like, oh fuck, why did I have to dig deeper?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, we're all curious little cats.
Well, let me give you like a background on this kind of stuff. Whenever this does happen, we don't talk about it. You know, when something happens like that, and we go testing, we don't bring it up again. We don't say, hey, what happened with the test or anything. We don't really talk about it.
Really?
So, oh fuck no. Because shit.
So if they come back 40 pounds lighter, you don't go, hey, you look good, because it could be bad news.
When someone loses 20 pounds, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thanks, Jim.
Good luck, my friend. I hope that works out for your friend.
Yeah, me too.
All right, thank you, buddy. Ryan in Ontario, you love your wife and she's hot, but you watch porn every day and it's wrecking your sex life. Boy, do I understand this one. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Hey, man.
I'm just pulling over here a second. Yeah, so here's the thing, and this has been going on for a little while, and I work in a small team at work, with a bunch of pretty good guys, and I brought it up to them, and they're even like, man, tell me about it. Like, so it's kind of a weird, I don't know if it's because I have no idea what's going on. So here's the deal. My wife is super hot, right? We met about 2 years ago, and things moved pretty quickly, and we got engaged. Boom, we're getting married. Good to go, right?
Right.
Well, within the last year, I've been, like, racing home lately to, like, watch porn and jerk off, and it's starting to basically affect my relationship with her because there's days or weeks that we'll go without sex. Like, I think the longest time was, like, almost a month.
Yeah.
And I can tell it's starting to weigh on her. I think she's starting to get self-conscious about it, maybe.
Let me ask you something. What are you watching that she's not doing?
Like, it's nothing crazy, Jim. Like, it's just normal. Like, just seeing other women naked to me is like, that's what's getting me off. Like, it's not like I'm not watching, like, girls getting fucked in the ass, like ass and mouth and shit. Just normal porn, man. Like, my old lady does all, like, I fuck her in the ass. My old lady's wicked. Like, wicked in bed. Like, awesome sex.
Can you watch porn with her?
Say again?
Can you watch porn with her?
Never watched porn with her, no.
You should try that because I get the idea of going home watching porn. I've actually passed up blowjobs on dates just to go home and jerk off. Masturbation is an absolute addiction, dude. And I know because I fucking spent so many unnecessary hours tugging my dick like a chimp.
Yeah, man.
You don't want to go down that road as much if you can help it. You always want the human connection, and I, should take my own advice because I've suffered a lot from not listening to this. Either watch it with her and try to incorporate her into it, or take a break from the porn. I know it's hard.
Yeah.
Try taking a break from the porn. Because then you'll start relying on her for sex again, because that's a really rough road. When you start relying only on porn, it's a fucking... Because, dude, I love jerking off. I love... And watching porn is a drug, man. All of a sudden, you're zoned out. It's new. It's different. You have no responsibility to another human being.
Yep.
Yeah. If it's hurting the marriage, dude, just stop
an addiction. Like, yeah, you feel addicted. Like, I feel addicted. Like, right now, I'm on my way back from work. I'm thinking, like, fuck, my old lady doesn't get back till 6. I'm jerking off. You know what I mean? Like... I got time to jerk off now, like, boom, and then it's a cycle, right? So and this is the thing. I come home every day 2 hours early, right? So there's my time to fucking jerk off.
Yeah, I would suggest addressing that because that's definitely addictive, and it's going to continue to get worse, and you're going to have to keep upping the ante. Like, okay, say that works for a while. Then one time you're going to need a different kind of porn, or you're going to need to do something else, or you're going to need to talk to a girl and text with a girl. You got to address that. Like you're kind of addressing it now, but you got to do something about that because you already see that it's a problem. So before it gets out of hand and you fuck up a marriage with a hot girl who really does like to get fucked in the ass and be dirty, because it's not worth it, dude. There's nothing in porn that's going to be as I've thrown away so many human interactions for it, and it's never worth it. Porn's just a lonely, isolating thing, especially if you have a partner.
It's so great.
Oh, yeah, I know, dude. I know. It's hard not to.
You fucking do it, and you don't have to fucking. You know what I mean? It's not like afterwards. You don't have to fucking talk to the. You're done. It's done.
Well, that's what I'm saying. No responsibility to another person.
It's a narcissistic thing, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's me, myself, and then it's done. I don't have to fucking deal with anybody else. But then, I got this real thing. She's coming home. She's going to have sex, and I'm like, no. You know what I mean? I'm tired. It's fine. I feel like I'm the bitch of the fucking relationship. And
yeah.
You're so right. Like, I go to the gym every day. So I go to the gym. I see other chicks there. I'm thinking like, fuck, that one I could definitely bang. You know what I mean? Like, so it is progressive, man. And I'm tracking that I got to fucking stop, but it's easier said than done, right?
Well, you're doing this to basically not cheat. That's why you're kind of doing this. Like you're fighting off. Like otherwise you might be doing something with a girl. I mean, I don't know what you may be inclined to do or not do. But you got to. My suggestion is fucking stop with the porn because it's really an all-encompassing addiction, and you're gonna have to keep upping the ante.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, thanks, Jim.
Hello. Oh, he's gone. All right. Thanks, Ryan. Okay, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Be good. Let's see here. Danielle in Boston, a nurse who can answer the needle hepatitis question. What's up, Danielle?
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Oh, good. How are you, my dear?
I'm all right. Usually, hospitals, facilities, jails, things like that, have protocols for people that have needle stick exposure. There's definitely things they can do to try to lessen the likelihood that you'll get it, hepatitis. In terms of the MRSA, I mean, there's MRSA everywhere. If you work in a prison, you're getting exposed to it anyway. That I wouldn't be that concerned with.
Okay.
But there's definitely things that they can give you to try to lessen the likelihood that you'll contract hepatitis. It's extremely virulent. It lives on surfaces for like 30 days by itself, whereas like HIV lasts about 5 seconds. So, I mean, the prison or wherever these people work definitely should have had protocols in place, because I'm sure that this happens more often than not, that people are either cut with, a makeshift knife or, a needle or whatever. So there's definitely things they can do. I mean, it's not 100% foolproof, but they can try to build up your immunity in certain ways so that you don't get hepatitis.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I hope the guy is still listening. I think you think you should tell her or no?
I mean, I think you should tell her. I mean, usually what they do is if they test her for hepatitis, it's not going to show up in 5 days. Typically what they do is they test the person who used the needle. So they would test the prisoner, I guess, but they already know that she has a history of it. Usually what they do is, for instance, if I get stuck with a needle at work, they would request that the patient would have to consent to a hepatitis test, and they don't have to consent to it. But usually they will. And if they're negative, then you're fine. If they're positive, then what ends up having to happen is the person who got the needle stick has to get tested periodically for whatever the protocol is these days. I don't know, the CDC changes it and whatever, but it's not going to show up in 5 days. Usually they recommend that you get tested immediately to establish a baseline for yourself, and then they will test you, I don't know, in 6 months and then in a year. And then after so many times of being negative, they say that you're okay.
Oh, okay. So it's a long process. All right, Danielle, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
I appreciate it. Bill Cosby, you're on the phone. John in New Jersey, what's up?
That's cool, man. How's it going?
Good, buddy. What's up?
Man, I've been involved with this chick. She's about 6 years older than me for the past 5 months. And we've done role play before, naughty teacher, freaking handsy aunt, shit like that. It's gotten pretty freaky.
Handsy aunt?
Yeah, she's I don't know. She wanted me to go to her house this one day and just pretend like she was a relative of mine and just go with that. I was pretty weird, but I went with it. Now it's gone. She wants me to do this whole role play rape fantasy thing.
Okay.
She gave me the keys to her apartment and she said, anytime this week, come over and take me. Okay. And I don't know. This is treading dark waters, and I really don't know. I didn't say no. I took the key, so I guess she's under the impression that I'm gonna do it. But I'm very uncomfortable with it. But I don't know.
Why are you uncomfortable with it?
Just the fact that I'm not that type of guy. I'm in bed aside from everything else. I'm a sub mainly.
Oh, so okay. Now she knows you're a sub, right? Is she a switch?
No.
She's a sub?
No. Well, yeah. She usually dominates it.
Oh, she does usually dominate?
Yeah, I mean that's.
And now she wants you to rape her, so she's a switch.
Oh yeah, then there you go.
So let me ask you: would it be so hard to give it a shot, or are you afraid you'll be embarrassed by it and you won't do a good job?
I'm afraid of just maybe taking it a little too far. You know what I mean? Maybe just I don't want to hurt her.
No, you don't have to hurt her. Here's what you can do. You can go in with a mask on. You don't have to pipe her over the head. If that's her fantasy, you can maybe cuff her or do something light. This way she's a little restrained. You don't have to brutally fuck her. Just, she's into the whole fan. That's why she gave you the keys. You know what I mean? She wanted you to come in like a gentleman. She doesn't want you to fucking kick the door in. So, or, either that, or if you want to kill the fantasy for her, agree to do it, but just talk like an over-the-top gay guy the whole time. Just go like, oh, I'm going to fuck you so hard, you bitch. And like spank her and go like, oh, I'm going to rape you. Oh, you are in such trouble. Like that will really fucking wreck it for her. Or say really unsexy shit while you're fucking her and say like, yeah, I have AIDS and now you're going to have it too. Just say that will ruin the fantasy for you. You'll never have to do it again.
All right.
Well, what you do is tie her to the bed, right? And say, I'm going to fuck you. And then she's getting all horny and go, but first I'm going to go take a shit and then go into the bathroom and drop a dump while she's handcuffed to the bed waiting to be fucked. That's what I would suggest.
All right, just kind of just straight up kill the mood before anything.
Yeah, do it, break in, but then just tie her and like while you put your dick in her, then whisper to her ear, "You're lucky you don't have a cock, because I'd suck it till the cows come home."
All right, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go for that, man. That actually will that's perfect. Right.
Good luck, man. All right.
Yeah, all right, thanks, Jim. I freaking love you guys.
Thanks, John. Hey, Matt in Long Island, you have trouble dumping loads with women. I've had this. You always got to jerk yourself off.
Hey, Jimmy, love the show.
Thank you. Do you lose your erections?
Yeah, no, I don't lose the erection. Like, I stay with the erection for a while, man. And like, what happens is, like, she'll go before me, and which is hot. Like, I find that hot.
Sure.
And all of a sudden, like, it just takes me forever to dump my load, and then I just have to do it myself.
Do you jerk off a lot?
Like, occasionally, yeah.
I wonder if it's a control thing. Sometimes it's hard for me to let people pleasure me, or sometimes it's hard for me to get off with women. What is it you need that you can't get from sex? Like your nipples played with, or is there anything like what is it that you are not getting?
I don't know. I have no idea. I've had this problem with my ex-girlfriend, and basically she would like always turn back, like talk shit about my stuff and everything, and that's why I left her.
She what?
Yeah, she would like really just like talk down to me about it and like say like, oh, we don't have sex all the time, or you don't give me what I want and everything, and that like kind of like really turned me off.
Sure.
And I thought that was the reason why I couldn't do it. But since I've had like this new girl that I've been seeing, it's happening the same.
Maybe it put the whammy on you. I've had the same thing, man. It's really hard to blow a load sometimes. What you have to do to break yourself of that, and again, I'm not always good at this, is just not allow yourself to jerk off. So there's going to be a few times where you have sex and you don't come, and then you might retrain your mind a little bit to know that it's got to happen from them. So again, jerking off is addictive, man. I was telling the last guy, and I certainly get it. That's what I would try. See if you can pull it off where, so to speak, where you do not give yourself that load. And this way, a couple times later, you might rely on her to do it.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, cool, man. Thanks.
Good luck. Chris in California, you just blew 10 years sobriety. What's up, Chris? Chris? Hey, buddy. No, man, he's not there. Is Chris gone? I guess he's gone. Okay, well, Chris, call us back. We didn't hang up on you. You might have a problem, or maybe you're saying hello, and like me, you have an iPhone and your dumb fat cheek is on the mute button. That happens a lot. So call back, man. I'm trying to say hello to you, and you're not there. Let's see. How about attracted to transgendered women? Adam in Alabama. What's up, Adam?
Jimmy, how's it going?
That's right. You don't eat apples, do you? Get it? Adam's apple. All right, what's up? Perfect tranny joke.
Well, I'm married, and I recently cheated on my wife with one.
Wow.
And then I realized she didn't have a condom on. So I've been going through that kind of scare. I got tested, but it was a week after, and I ended up testing negative. But
wait, what did she fuck you in the ass?
Yeah.
And you couldn't tell that she had no condom on?
Well, she fucked me from behind, and afterwards I realized she didn't. When she told me she did.
Oh, wow.
But she didn't.
That's pretty fucked up on her part.
Right?
Well, I would suggest I have to suggest you don't cheat with prostitutes, but, make sure they got a condom on if you're going to do it. Just really make sure.
Yeah, I agree, and I always have. This is just like the first time that's ever happened. where they didn't have a condom on.
Yeah, that's really dangerous, man. That's really fucking dangerous. All right. I mean, look, you're attracted to trans women. And a lot of people are. What are you gonna do? I don't know what to tell you about that. Does your wife know you're attracted to them?
Yeah. See, I ended up telling her, that I did cheat on her, and that I might have HIV.
Boy, you really fucking give a worst case scenario. What the fuck, dude?
No shit.
Why did you do that instead of just saying, like, all right, why don't you wait till you get your test results back before you fucking hit her with that one?
Well, see, I was, but she was trying to have sex with me while I was waiting on the results, and I kept putting it off, and she was like, what the fuck's up?
Okay,
and
fair enough.
I had to tell her.
That was right, okay.
But anyway, yeah, I got tested after a week after, and I tested negative, but I'm told, it could take up to 6 months.
You're probably okay, but I would suggest getting tested again. The odds are against you getting it the first time that happens. But look, we've all had our scares. So I would say, maybe only fuck her with a rubber until you get tested again.
Yeah, she won't even let me do that. So I'm waiting months, which is my fault. So I understand, but.
All right. Well, good luck, my friend. I hope you stay negative.
Yeah, me too. What my main question is, how do I, be married, but also deal with that addiction to females?
Well, if you have an addiction to any type of sex stuff, you got to try a 12-step group. If you want to break the addiction, either that or incorporate your wife into it where she's a part of it, or try going to a 12-step group, because you don't want to be doing it behind her back. You don't want to be doing that because, again, you're going to wind up bringing something home sooner or later.
Yeah.
So I would suggest a 12-step group, man, especially if you're married and if you already had a disease scare. If you've already gotten fucked in the ass without a condom and you're married, you might want to address it.
Yeah.
All right?
All right, man. I appreciate it. I love the show.
Thank you, buddy. Be good. I got to do a live read in a minute. Let's get to Chris real quick. He's lost 10 years of sobriety. We only have a couple of minutes, Chris. Sorry. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Jim. What's going on?
Hey.
I just recently gave up. I had 10 years sobriety, and I fucked up, and I fucking went out and used. Well, I got caught using more pills than I should be taking, and I really feel like a piece of shit. I worked really hard at it. It seemed like the first 7-8 years was really not that hard, but as you go along.
Well, you forget how bad life was. What do they say? If you forget to remember, you're doomed to repeat. Like people, life gets pretty good, and sometimes it's a little boring. Like, wow, is this all there is? Whatever it was, there was something that you missed in the foundation, which I hate to say it like that, but it allowed the house to collapse. And look, we only have one day. No matter how good sobriety is for a long time, and on any given day, we can fuck it up if we don't do the right thing. So I wish I had more time with you, dude. Here's my suggestion. You got to go back to meetings, and you know that.
I know.
Do you have anybody you could pick up the phone and call? If you just blew 10 years, pick up the phone and call somebody. And I know it's embarrassing, and nobody wants to talk about it, but you will be helping somebody. If you go in and talk about it, you will be helping somebody else. So you don't have to do it anymore, and whatever it is that you did to fuck up, you can help somebody else with it. All right, I'm sorry I don't have more time. I got to do a read and end the show. I apologize. We tried to go to you a little earlier.
All right. Love your show, man.
All right, but thank you. But do the right thing, man. Go back, okay?
Okay, bye.
All right, bye, buddy. And, one more moment here, and it's AC/DC is back with their first new album in 6 years. And AC/DC has had a lot of controversy lately and a lot of things going on with them, obviously. So this will probably be their last record. The highly anticipated studio album is Rock or Bust. It's available now just in time for the holidays. Rock or Bust treats AC/DC fans to 11 new tracks, including the hit single Play Ball. More than 4 decades into a career that shows no signs of slowing down or letting up, AC/DC, like electricity itself, continues to provide the world with an essential source of power and energy. Rock or Bust delivers the same high-voltage rock and roll that is synonymous with AC/DC. By the way, how annoying is it that I just said this will probably be their last studio album, and in the copy it says, their career shows no signs of slowing down. Let's be real honest. this might be their last studio record. So go out and support these guys. If you want another record, support them with this one, because the one Angus's brother is out of the band because he has dementia, and the drummer had some trouble recently in New Zealand, so hopefully they will continue to produce, but this may be their last one. So support Rock or Bust. This finds them once again working with producer Brendan O'Brien and mixer Mike Frazier, who both worked on Black Ice in 2008. 11 new tracks on Rock or Bust were recorded in the spring of 2014 in Vancouver. Why are they telling me this? No one cares. Get your copy of AC/DC's Rock or Bust today. That's what people care about. That it's a kick-ass rock record. It's AC/DC. That's what people want to know about. They're going to embark on a world tour to promote it, and they're going to celebrate their 40th anniversary. So get tickets when they do. That's what people want to hear. And they took a black car to rehearsals. Nobody gives a shit. Rock or Bust is a heavy, typical AC/DC album. That's what people want to know, because people have come to expect something out of this band, and they have delivered every time. So congratulations to those guys. I want to see them when they come around, because they really are one of the great bands of all time. Thank you guys for calling in. Thank you, AC/DC, for allowing me to do a live read, which means big bucks in Jim Norton's pockets. And I'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for listening to The Jim Norton Show. Hear all that advice whenever you want to on demand at SiriusXM.com/on-demand. On SiriusXM is real. Like what you hear?
Yeah.
And you couldn't tell that she had no condom on?
Well, yeah, she fucked me from behind, and afterwards I realized she didn't. When she told me she did.
Oh, wow.
But she didn't.
That's pretty fucked up on her part.
Right?
Well, I would suggest look, I have to suggest you don't cheat with prostitutes, but, make sure they got a condom on if you're going to do it. Just really make sure.
Yeah, I agree, and I always have. This is just like the first time that's ever happened where they didn't have a condom on.
Yeah, that's really dangerous, man. That's really fucking dangerous, all right? Look, you're attracted to trans women. A lot of people are. What are you going to do? I don't know what to tell you about that. Does your wife know you're attracted to them?
Yeah, see, I ended up telling her, that I did cheat on her, and that I might have HIV.
Boy, you really fucking give a worst case scenario. What the fuck, dude?
No shit.
Why did you do that instead of just saying, all right, why don't you wait till you get your test results back before you fucking hit her with that one?
Well, see, I was, but she was trying to have sex with me while I was waiting on the results, and I kept putting it off, and she was like, what the fuck's up?
Okay, fair enough.
I had to tell her.
That was right, okay.
But anyway, yeah, I got tested after a week after, and I tested negative, but I'm told, it could take up to 6 months.
You're probably okay, but I would suggest getting tested again. The odds are against you getting it the first time that happens. But look, we've all had our scares, so I would say maybe only fuck her with a rubber until you get tested again.
Yeah, she won't even let me do that. So I'm waiting months, which is my fault. So I understand, but
all right. Well, good luck, my friend. I hope you stay negative.
Yeah, me too. What my main question is, how do I, be married but also deal with that addiction to females?
Well, if you have an addiction to any type of sex stuff, you got to try a 12-step group. If you want to break the addiction, either that or incorporate your wife into it where she's a part of it, or try going to a 12-step group, because you don't want to be doing it behind her back. You don't want to be doing that because again, you're going to wind up bringing something home sooner or later.
Yeah.
So I would suggest a 12-step group, man, especially if you're married and you already had a disease scare. If you've already gotten fucked in the ass without a condom and you're married, you might want to address it.
Yeah.
All right?
All right, man. I appreciate it. I love the show.
Thank you, buddy. Be good. I got to do a live read in a minute. Let's get to Chris real quick. He's lost 10 years of sobriety. We only have a couple of minutes, Chris. Sorry. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Jim. What's going on?
Hey.
I just recently gave up. I had 10 years sobriety, and I fucked up, and I fucking went out and used. I got caught using more pills than I should be taking, and I really feel like a piece of shit. You know, I worked really hard at it. It seemed like the first 7-8 years was really not that hard, but as you go along,
well, you forget how bad life was. What do they say? You know, if you forget to remember, you're doomed to repeat. Like people, it gets really, life gets pretty good, and sometimes it's like it's a little boring. Like, wow, is this all there is? Whatever it was, there was something that you missed in the foundation, which I hate to say it like that, but it allowed the house to collapse. And look, we only have one day. No matter how good sobriety is for a long time, you know, and on any given day, we can fuck it up if we don't do the right thing. So I wish I had more time with you, dude. Here's my suggestion. You got to go back to meetings, and you know that.
I know.
Do you have anybody you could pick up the phone and call? If you just blew 10 years, pick up the phone and call somebody. I know it's embarrassing, and nobody wants to talk about it, but you will be helping somebody. If you go in and talk about it, you will be helping somebody else. So you don't have to do it anymore, and whatever it is that you did to fuck up, you can help somebody else with it. All right, I'm sorry I don't have more time. I got to do a read and then end the show. I apologize. We tried to go to you a little earlier.
All right. Love your show, man.
All right, but thank you. But do the right thing, man. Go back, okay?
Okay, bye.
All right, bye, buddy. And, one more moment here. And it's AC/DC is back with their first new album in 6 years. And AC/DC has had a lot of controversy lately and a lot of things going on with them, obviously. So this will probably be their last record. The highly anticipated studio album is Rock or Bust. It's available now just in time for the holidays. Rock or Bust treats AC/DC fans to 11 new tracks, including the hit single Play Ball. More than 4 decades into a career that shows no signs of slowing down or letting up, AC/DC, like electricity itself, continues to provide the world with an essential source of power and energy. Rock or Bust delivers the same high-voltage rock and roll that is synonymous with AC/DC. By the way, how annoying is it that I just said this will probably be their last studio album, and in the copy it says, their career shows no signs of slowing down. Let's be real honest. This might be their last studio record. So go out and support these guys. If you want another record, support them with this one. Because, you know, the one... Angus's brother is out of the band because he has dementia, and the drummer had some trouble recently in New Zealand, so hopefully they will continue to produce, but this may be their last one. So support Rock or Bust. This finds them once again working with producer Brendan O'Brien and mixer Mike Frazier, who both worked on Black Ice in 2008. 11 new tracks on Rock or Bust were recorded in the spring of 2014 in Vancouver. Why are they telling me this? No one cares. Get your copy of AC/DC's Rock or Bust today. That's what people care about. That it's a kick-ass rock record. It's AC/DC. That's what people want to know about. They're going to embark on a world tour to promote it, and they're going to celebrate their 40th anniversary. So get tickets when they do. That's what people want to hear. And they took a black car to rehearsals. Nobody gives a shit. Rock or Bust is a heavy, typical AC/DC album. That's what people want to know, because people have come to expect something out of this band, and they have delivered every time. So congratulations to those guys. I want to see them when they come around, because they really are one of the great bands of all time. Thank you guys for calling in. Thank you, AC/DC, for allowing me to do a live read, which means big bucks in Jim Norton's pockets. And I'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for listening to The Jim Norton Show. Hear all that advice whenever you want to on demand at SiriusXM.com/on-demand. On SiriusXM is real. Like what you hear.
Yay! Mike Frazier, who both worked on Black Ice in 2008. 11 new tracks on Rock or Bust were recorded in the spring of 2014 in Vancouver. Why are they telling me this? No one cares. Get your copy of AC/DC's Rock or Bust today. That's what people care about. That it's a kick-ass rock record. It's AC/DC. That's what people want to know about. They're going to embark on a world tour to promote it, and they're going to celebrate their 40th anniversary. So get tickets when they do. That's what people want to hear. And they took a black car to rehearsals. Nobody gives a shit. Rock or Bust is a heavy, typical AC/DC album. That's what people want to know, because people have come to expect something out of this band, and they have delivered every time. So congratulations to those guys. I want to see them when they come around, because they really are one of the great bands of all time. Thank you guys for calling in. Thank you, AC/DC, for allowing me to do a live read, which means big bucks in Jim Norton's pockets. And I'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for listening to The Jim Norton Show. Hear all that advice whenever you want to on demand at SiriusXM.com/on-demand. On SiriusXM is real. Like what you hear.
Yay! Guys, next week.
Thanks for listening to The Jim Norton Show. Hear all that advice whenever you want to on demand at SiriusXM.com/on-demand. On SiriusXM is real. Like what you hear.
Yay!